Greetings to you and welcome to today's special podcast. In fact, I was wondering, have you ever been in a situation where you had a great conversation with a girl and everything was just moving on smoothly, till a point where you even felt like you both were just into each other. And then, you started, you know, viewing this girl probably as your future wife or your potential girlfriend or whatever, And then you decided to give it a try, by simply asking her out. You probably said, you know what, um, this is my number. If you don't mind, you could, you know, reach out any of these days when you are available so that we could hang out and have lunch together or probably, have a drink or whatever. Or maybe whatever, however, you go out on your dates, that is up to you. All right. Some people go for coffee, some people, the purpose of today's video is not to say what is the best approach with regards to taking a girl out. All right. Whether you should go to a coffee shop or you should, you should go to a cafe or you should go to your favorite restaurant in the corner, or you should go to cinema together. That is not the purpose of today's video. All right. But like when you ask the girl out, okay, however you ask the girl out, that's not important, like I said. But when you ask the girl that, uh, when you gave her your number and asked if you could hang out one of these days, or when you probably, instead of giving your number, you probably just asked her to give you her number. So you were like, okay, I was thinking of maybe hanging out one of these days, to have lunch together and to get to know each other, right? And then you were like, oh, could you please give me your number, or can I have your number? Right? You don't have to be so, but when you are like too polite, sometimes it comes across as being weak, right? And being less confident, right? So it's okay to be polite, but to still don't come across as being a simp or being too needy and that kind of thing, right? So you probably just said, if you could give me your number so that we could hang out one of these days and have lunch and get to know each other, something like that. And then to your biggest surprise, the girl told you, you know what, I'm sorry, but do you have Snapchat or do you have Facebook? I don't actually, and you were like, you probably might have just said, yeah, sure, sure, though that wasn't what you really wanted, right? Or you probably stood to your ground and said, you know what, or you probably, though you probably even have Snapchat or Facebook, you probably lied by saying, pretending not to have any of these, just to make sure she gives you her number, or you openly just made her understand that, you know what, I don't take social media from girls, or I don't take Facebook nor Snapchat or whatever. I would prefer your number instead, So you were probably bold enough to tell her this, all right, or you just accepted that, she offers you her social media information. So you probably took her Facebook or you took her Snapchat. Whichever that you did, you should not beat up yourself for that, all right? Life is a learning process, and you have to make mistakes, in order to improve. So don't beat yourself up for that. And that is the purpose of today's video, right? To let you understand what exactly you should do when she refuses to give you her number but offers to give you her Facebook or her Instagram or her Snapchat or whatever. All right. So before we actually dive into what you should do, it's important to understand why a girl may be asking or maybe offering to give you her social media information instead of her number. All right. So, uh, like I said, there are several reasons. Reason number one could be that um, she's not really into you. Okay. So she's not really into you. And then she feels like, um, why not give you? Because one thing you should understand is that um, your number or the number of somebody, of a girl for that matter, is something that is very personal. All right. Even you yourself as a man, your number is very, very personal, and you don't go about giving your number to everybody, right? Especially to people that you don't know or that you've just met. Okay, you don't just go about giving your number to everybody. On your Instagram or your whatever, you probably have a lot of following your Facebook, but not all these people have access to your personal number, right? So the same thing applies to even a girl, all right? So once the girl refuses to give you her number but offers to give you her social media information, it simply means that her interest at that particular point is not really at its peak, all right? Because if she had very high interest in you, she would she wouldn't have hesitated. Like, she would have just, she would have rushed to text you her number or whatever, So as soon as you just simply ask for her number and she's like, you know what, do you have Snapchat or Facebook? To me, it's a sign of low interest at that initial stage. There might be other reasons, all right? It could be that she's already in a relationship and she's looking forward to breaking up with whoever, because that's why they often say women do monkey branching, right? So while she's in a relationship, she's trying to look for a new catch, and then you might be a potential catch. Probably that's why you had a great conversation, but she doesn't want to give you her number at the moment because she's still probably with her boyfriend or her man or husband or whatever. So if she should give you her number, then she's going to, she might end up exposing herself, because just imagine you calling while she's still with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend gets to see that a strange number calling or something. So she might want to, she might not want to do that, right? And that leads us to the next reason, which is that she's just simply a cheater. Even the previous reason that I gave was still a way of cheating, in a sense that if you are in a relationship, and you are about to leave the relationship, you are not supposed to be doing monkey branching, right? But unfortunately, even men do it, right? But women are known for doing monkey branching, meaning that they always make sure that they find the new partner before they let go the ex-partner. All right. So that in itself is cheating. So the third reason could be that she's just cheating, or she's a cheater, and all that she's looking for you to do is to put you in her Snapchat or Facebook or whatever, where she feels like, like she has been mingling with a lot of men, and she's not going to treat you as someone special, than an ordinary Facebook or Snapchat follower or friend or whatever, Instagram follower. And then if ever she's interested in maybe hooking up with you or something, then, that might happen between you guys. So that could be a reason that she's simply a cheater, and she doesn't want to have a lot of men on her contacts on her phone and all of that. So she prefers doing it this way. Another reason could be that, especially on a dating app, she barely knows you, right? So you might not have a problem giving out your contact details, but somebody might not be that type that just gives out her numbers and those kind of things. So she would prefer, and mostly some of them would tell you on a dating app that I would appreciate if we could still continue to chat here for some time, and then we see what the future holds. If we really um, get to know each other much better, we probably could set up a date. All right. So some would just tell you this, and that in itself, it's still a sign of low interest, right? Because one thing you should understand is that when a girl, when it's just like when you meet a girl, all right, when you meet a girl for the first time, and then be it online or even face to face, and then you start to chat one or two. If this particular, if you see a potential partner in this particular person, it's not going to take not even an hour for you to realize that this could be a potential partner, because it's obvious. Everybody, unless probably you don't know what you want, and I don't think that's the case. You really know what you want, right? So the same thing applies to a girl. So if you happen to meet her and then you've been able to chat for some time, and all of a sudden, like, you asking her out and she's like offering to give you her Snapchat or whatever, it's simply a clear sign that she's not interested that much, especially at that stage, because she hasn't yet known you very well, and she doesn't want to risk it all, because that leads us to the last reason, okay? Because she has a lot of people texting her. Unlike women, that's how nature has made it. It's men, even the other animals kingdom, it's always the man that approaches the woman. I'm not saying the inverse is not right or it's not true, right? But often than not, we are the ones that approach women. So what you should understand is that with today's social media, or should I say with the dating apps and all these kind of things, girls are now accessible to thousands of men, if not millions, which means she has a lot of people reaching out to her each and every day, especially if she is a good-looking girl per the world standard. If she's beautiful per the world standard, all right, then she would have a lot of people texting her, meaning she doesn't see you as that much special, all right? That is the more reason why you as a man, you should make sure that you invest in yourself and become a high-value man. When we talk of investing in yourself, it cuts across all areas, be it with your finances. That doesn't mean you should go about just throwing money on women. No. As a matter of fact, you should be interested in a woman that can actually help you look for money together and build a family. If that is what you want, but some people probably are just looking for, they are just looking for hookups. I'm not saying, I'm not the one to judge whether that is cool or not. Just do you, right? Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that if she's simply if she tells you that, what, if she's offering to give you her social media instead of her whatever, it could be simply that, there are a lot of men that have been texting her. She has a lot of messages. All right, she gets today with the social media. Girls are exposed to men in the world, so they have a lot of attention, and sometimes it's hard for them to decipher, which man to choose. So this might be the case. So it doesn't necessarily mean that maybe she's not interested into you, or in you, sorry, but she's finding it hard to, so she's like, if I offer you my social media information, that way I wouldn't lose you. So, but that would create more room for her to think about who to choose. All right, so that's why I was saying, whether you took her social media information or not, you weren't wrong, okay, and you should not beat up yourself for that. But I would tell you what personally I would do, right? So I think I've stated enough reasons why a girl would do that, okay? Ranging from low interest to the fact that she doesn't really know you enough at that stage and all of that. Okay. But now, um, one thing that you should know for a fact is that if she claims that, okay, like we haven't known each other for long, we should continue chatting, that in itself is still low-key rejection, in my opinion, because we don't need to spend years to get to know each other. As soon as you meet and then you have a conversation, as a matter of fact, you are never going to know each other entirely. Even me, myself, sitting here, I don't know myself entirely. I keep trying to know myself. I keep learning about myself each and every day. How more getting to know another whole human being from a different background, culture, probably, or family. So getting to know each other should not be something that would take hours. If we meet and then we feel like there's chemistry, right? Then and physically too, we are attracted to each other. There's no reason that it should take years for us to get to know each other. Because of course, because there are certain things, okay, that initial attraction is the most important attraction, because with that the other stuffs, you are definitely going to discover other things that you may not like about each other, but that initial attraction is always what keeps igniting what the love flame. That initial compatibility, slight compatibility, or let's say compatibility, right? That is what is going to keep everything. So there's no reason. What that means is that as soon as a girl sees this man or chats with you, whatever, she has seen your pictures and everything, if she sees you as a potential partner, she already knows. Any other thing apart from that is a big lie. She's trying to just put you on a bench as a reserve player, you know. So for that reason, I will tell you my sincere opinion and what you should do if she offers to give you her social media information instead of her number. All right. For me, I would simply, humbly, okay, and politely, because I don't mean to be rude to her and I don't see the essence in being rude, right? One thing you should know for a fact is that people would buy you at the price at which you sell yourself. So when you put up yourself on the dating market out there, on the dating app, you're actually marketing yourself, all right, as a potential relationship material. So if this person doesn't rate you enough, all right, and she offers to give you her social media information, and you feel like you're worth more than that, you actually deserve numbers, not social media information, then you could simply say, you know what, I sometimes I actually just tell girls straightforward, because for me I take that as disrespect, okay, because you might argue that out, but for me I don't take that, right? I would tell you, in some cases you might accept that, and you be that might there's no wrong answer here, okay? If you choose to accept, it depends on why you are actually looking for this girl, or why you are looking for a girl in the first place. Some people are looking for girls just for hookup, and they don't mind being on the bench, being in their in I mean being a backup for the girl, you know, giving the girl all the attention that she needs. Imagine going out for a lunch with this particular girl whilst you don't even have her number, or going for coffee or whatever, hanging out together, meanwhile you don't even have her number. Do you really think that is respectful on her part to treat you that way? How would you feel? Like, like, because if you are her Facebook friend, you are not different from the million people that are friends to her on Facebook, or that are following her. Is that what you want to be? As a matter of fact, the dating app is not very different from the social media. All right. It's simply like social media for relationship, or for dating, or for hookups, or whatever, right? That is a form of social media. So if we are trying to get more intimate, then we should even, like, it would have been better we stayed on a dating app than on a social media platform, because social media platform, like I said, there's no any kind of intimacy there. It's more like it's open to the world. So if the purpose of dating is to get intimate, so if we are regressing like from intimacy to just being friends on Facebook, then that simply shows that, to me, it's a clear sign of rejection, initial rejection. So this is my point of view. But sometimes, like I said, if you are just looking for a hookup or something, you might just want to have a lot of different possibilities. So you might say, okay, you might consider having a Facebook information so that if she ever allows you in, then you're gonna have your way, and that ends it. If that is what you want, some people actually do it, and that's what I'm saying. Whether you accept girls' social media information or not, there's nothing wrong with that. But I personally wouldn't do that, and I'm telling you why. Simply because I feel like, to me, it's a sign of disrespect. I know I'm worth. I also have the choice of, going out with other girls. That's why you should make yourself the man that every woman desires to be with, not the man that runs after women. All right. So if I meet you and you feel like, you know what, you can only offer to give me your social media information and not your number, it means that you don't want us to get intimate anytime soon. You don't want us to really connect and all of that. And I'm not really the type that is interested in what? Hookups. All right. I'm interested in building a strong and durable relationship that could even lead to raising of a family. All right. So if this is not a matter of red pill and whatever that people would talk about, that society is there. I am in a society, or in my society, I'm not interested in just hookups. Okay. And even if I were interested in hookups, I still would deem it a lot of disrespect to collect somebody's social media information and just be an ordinary friend and be chatting. I cannot do that. This is me. All right. Because I had a choice to choose somebody else, but I offered to go out with you. And I expect the same consideration. So, and one thing you should know is that if a girl doesn't respect you, then even if it's for hookup, if she doesn't respect you, then it will be almost like masturbation. That is my opinion. You might hold a different opinion. So if she doesn't have the same consideration for me, if she cannot offer to give me a number, and it's like, no, I cannot sit and wait. I would rather prefer, kicking her out. By saying kicking her out, I simply mean that I would rather prefer just leaving her alone, so that somebody else that sees me as a 10, or as probably as a 9, or probably as a 7, or at least, or 8, could come in and take her place, and we would have a happy life together. That is my opinion. So it's up to you to decide, what do you really think you are worth. I'm not saying accepting social media information means you are worthless. That is not it. But I feel like I'm worth more than that. And I also hold this position, or this opinion, simply because I am not just interested in playing around. All right. One last reason I will give why I don't play such games is that I don't like being around people that are disloyal and that just have very poor character in general. Because to me, any of the reasons that I've given, could it be that this particular person is having low interest and is trying to play me then it means she's being dishonest. If she's already in a relationship and then she's trying to put me on the bench, as she's trying to monkey branch with me, and until she finally leaves her man, then it means she's being dishonest to her man, and she's being disloyal. All right. Would you want to be in a potential relationship where this same girl would do the same thing to you, where she would be, staying in touch with other people, other men on different social media platforms while she's still in relationship with you? If she's a cheater, would you want to cheat with her? Some people would say, you know what, karma, right? If you do unto others what you want them to do unto you, would you want to ever be cheating on? Would you want your wife to sleep with somebody else? Then why would you want to do it to somebody's wife? That I'm not really interested in arguing the morals here, but to me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, for the simple reason that I dislike engaging with people that are disloyal and that have poor character, that are dishonest. For that simple reason, it's either she chooses me or I'm going to find somebody that would choose me. But I'm not going to sit on a bench and wait. That is me. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I hope you had some value from this particular video. Please remember to subscribe, like, and see you in the next one. Bye.